Last time on Square Roots, we meet Terra, the amnesiac protagonist, Locke, the thief with the heart of gold, and the twins, Beefcake Ninja and Slick Willy, king of the pickup artists.
And welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks, and I am joined by Matthew Van Zandt.
Hello, hello.
John ULTROS Brandon.
It's very warm here, and I am a winter bear.
No, you're an octopus.
Sorry.
And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
This is a podcast where we play and talk about classic RPGs. What game are we talking about this week?
Final Fantasy X, my favorite.
Is it Driving Emotion Type S, the classic car PG?
Wait, are we playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Because that's a great game and a great RPG.
My Horse Prince.
RPG.
Is it Uncharted Waters, the pirate RPG?
Yuck.
My
No.
Horse Prince.
No.
Is it Persona 5? Because I did finish that game and it was very good.
If we ever do Persona 5, that's going to be like a year of our lives. Because that game never ends.
I don't think I could replay it anyway. But I loved it, but I don't think I could. But are we playing Grandia again? Because, guys, if so, I gotta go. My foot hurts. Or something.
We'll probably play Grandia 2 eventually, but this episode we're playing Final Fantasy 6.
My Horse Prince.
Not My Horse Prince.
Oh.
The most requested game. I feel like we're blowing our load early.
Yeah, that's normal.
It's
I mean,
been
it happens
2
to everyone.
years.
Yeah, we're prematurely
Is
ejaculating.
sex supposed to be more than 30 minutes? Because it's so, like, God, I'm tired.
30 minutes?
Sex or
That's
penetration?
a long time.
That's a good point, Vanessa. Penetration.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's probably too much.
That's a long
Ow.
time.
Yeah.
Well,
gonna get
listen, if you're
chafing.
good and drunk, you got that whiskey dick, and that thing just won't go down.
Oh, sure, because it's all about your dick.
It's just like, it's like Viagra. Like, it never stops. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's great.
It's
That's
the worst
great.
sex.
Yeah. So just go ahead and tear apart some woman until you get your satisfaction. I see how it
Oh,
works.
no. I never get satisfaction when I've got the whiskey dick. I just do work until I'm tired, and then I go to sleep, and, then there's morning sex. That's the best.
What are we even talking about?
We're talking about
What is
We're talking
Final
about
Fantasy
getting it wet.
6?
Final Fantasy 6.
That parody must be out there somewhere.
I'm
in
sure
the form
it
of
is.
fanfic, if nothing else.
And
Vanessa's
they change
mom
Locke's
listens to
name to
this.
Cock.
Okay.
My mom's had sex.
John, this is way less. We've gotten way dirtier than this.
That's
Have
true.
you forgotten horny grandma? Hello, Chanel. I want your dick in my butt. All right, that was maybe a
John
bit much.
is upset because my camera is on, which it usually isn't when we record for technical reasons. And he doesn't want to go blue with my angelic face looking at him.
It's true.
Blue?
Feels strange. Yeah.
What?
It's like what comedians call it when they talk dirty.
Oh, okay.
Blue humor.
Like isn't that a Navy thing?
I don't know. It could be.
Navy is a shade of blue.
Excellent observation. Great job.
Good
Thank
Christ.
you.
What are we doing?
Blue's the warmest color, guys.
Losing patrons,
Yeah, everyone is abandoning ship.
as they should.
Unsubscribe.
Before we get started, do you guys want to talk about Saved by the Bell some more?
Not today.
I'm always up for talking about Saved by the Bell.
I'm only up for it when I wake up in the morning and my alarm gives out a warning and I don't think I'll ever make it on time. And By the
Wake up
time I
in the
brush my
morning,
hair,
feeling shy and lonely.
get
Gee,
down the
I gotta
stairs,
go
I'm
to school.
at the corner just in time
Don't
to
think
see
I
the
can
bus
make
fly
it.
by.
Don't
But
think I can
it's
take
all right.
it. Wonder what I'm
all
gonna
right.
do.
It's all right
Then
because
I
I'm saved
turn
by the
around
bell.
and see someone is smiling right at me.
When the
It's
teacher
way
pops
too
the
early
test,
in the
I know I'm in a
episode
mess.
to be bombarding our listeners
I
with
got
singing.
a new friend.
It's they're not going to feel bad about pressing pause and going to something else at this point. We got to get them more invested in the episode first before
Yeah,
giving them a
This
reason to
comes
leave.
out on Mondays.
Stop on my feet.
Stop it.
I've had Sublime stuck in my head all day. I
Oh,
don't
I'm
know
sorry.
why. Yeah, no, it's terrible.
I got a Dalmatian. It's white and has spots.
I can still get high. I can play the guitar like a motherfucking riot.
Doesn't he say fly?
Ba, 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 ba.
That's Sugar Ray, John.
Like a motherfucking
I can- no.
fly?
I just want to
That's
fly.
not what he says. I can play the guitar like a
Put your
motherfucking
arms
fly.
around
That's-
me,
No, it's
baby.
Riot.
Put
That's
your
the dumbest
arms
thing
around
I've
me,
ever heard.
baby.
Well, I thought they just wrote down lyrics.
I just want to fly.
Oh, God.
Put your arms
Oh,
around me,
God.
baby.
What a train wreck
Put
this
your
is
arms
already.
around me, baby.
John, Jim, what do we do first before we talk about this
Hold on.
game?
I'm going to tell everybody
Fly,
what we're
spread the
playing
wings
this
and
week,
fly.
which is we're
Spread the
playing
wings and
all
fly.
three scenarios after the Empire gets to the Returner's base.
Yep.
So
That's
Terra's
Locke,
scenario,
Terra,
Locke's scenario, and
Sabin.
Sabin's.
How fun was Saban's 35-hour scenario?
It lasted a long
It does.
time.
That one's the best one, I think.
It
though.
was the best one, but it lasted a
Maybe.
long time.
Ooh, I should pull the notes up because I don't remember what happened here. This always happens when I play ahead.
Which order did you guys go in?
Terra, Locke, Saban.
I went Locke, Sabin, Terra.
Oh, you did Saban in the middle?
Yeah.
Well, you deserved it.
It was
I
an
did-
accident.
Terra Lock Sabin as well.
I also did Terra Lock Sabin, so once again, Jim is bad at video games.
Wow,
wow.
cool, guys.
Jeez.
No, you forgot John's the one that's bad at video games.
It's true.
All right. I'm pretty good if they're on easy or story mode.
Well, but Final Fantasy VI doesn't have either of those things.
That's true. Or is it all story mode?
Ooh. Does Final Fantasy
Ooh.
VI on the phone have like a give yourself 999 HP button?
Not that I saw, but it does have a fast forward battles button.
Ooh,
And
I
an
like
auto
that.
battles, which is the best.
We are way ahead of ourselves.
It's not quite as good as Bravely Default's auto battles, but it's pretty good.
How did everyone level up? Matthew, let's start with you.
Okay. I actually have a lot of things, but I'm going to cut it down. So I'll do two. One will be, I have been reading lately, and I know that I recently talked about how I had read the comic book Invincible, and it was very good. And I wanted to continue reading comics, so I started reading Hellboy. And that led into reading the BRPD comic, and that led into reading the Ape Sapien comic. So I found a reading list online. I've been following. Okay, John's giving me the shrug shoulders. You must have at least heard of the Hellboy movies.
Yes, I saw those.
Well, I could go on about it, but I won't. I just want to say that they're excellent. Mike Mignola, his artwork is gorgeous. And I was I'd never read the BPRD. That's the organization that Hellboy works for, and it became a spin-off series. And it is excellent, and the Abe Sapien stuff is excellent if you haven't read that. And I just want to recommend that to anybody that's interested in reading more comics. It is just a wonderful, wonderful, self-contained kind of world that's just, God, it's good. And the other thing is, this morning, I purchased Darksiders War Mastered.
That's not even a pun.
I know. I didn't name it. And I purchased it for $2.
Ooh.
And I started playing it, and it is genuinely fantastic to be playing that game again. Almost to the point that I'm thinking about buying Darksiders 2 and trying to replay it, but then I remember that I hate it, and I don't want to do that.
Darksiders 1 is a good game. Darksiders 2 is less good because it's just boring.
Yeah. And it really ruins it's got more of an open world, but it kind of ruins that concept.
Well, it has an open world, but the world is mostly empty.
It's not
There's
open.
like nothing in it.
It's not really an open world. It's more like a Zelda.
It's like a sandbox, yeah.
Listen, that's the thing that I like about Darksiders. It's like a God of War on the surface, but the actual game is a Zelda. And these are things, I don't like God of War as much, but
God of War in the streets, Zelda in the sheets.
Exactly. But the super stupid, over the top, gritty, like, world that they create is like, it's super fun and stupid. But it's got great designs. And okay, that's it for me. Vanessa, how did you level up?
Yeah. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I played a game called What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh.
Ooh.
Have y'all played this game?
No.
Nuh-uh.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. It's really good. It's a walking simulator style game, much like Firewatch or Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Firewatch made me too sad at the beginning to continue playing it. Should I try again?
Edith Finch is sadder than that.
Are you shitting me?
So the whole premise of Edith Finch is that you are a young woman who's returning to her childhood home, and she is the last in her biological family line because everyone else has died under different circumstances. And you walk through the house and you find different journals or pieces of memorabilia that tell you the story of how this particular person died. They all have some sort of supernatural-esque elements to them, but in a way where you can tell from like the supernatural story what the real story is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one who takes some poison and then has this whole kind of trippy sequence where you're controlling them as they morph into different animals. And the story that they wrote is, this is what happened to me. I morphed into all these animals, and but then you can sort of put together the clues and realize what actually happened to them as well.
Like an animorph.
Like an animorph. And the puzzle of the game is really two things, just navigating the house, and then each sequence has a different mechanic that you need to figure out of how to control the character. But they're all really interesting. There's one where it's like a comic book style. There's one where the story is told through photographs, so you have to like take the photograph of the right thing each time to move it forward.
Ooh.
But there is one particular sequence, and I don't want to get too into it to spoil it, but I'll just say that the dead people who you are discovering their stories are of varying ages. And at one point, it was just too young and too sad and absolutely heartbreaking.
Ooh.
Just really, really.
Cannot play it then.
So, yeah, Matt, I know you have a thing with children. It's beautiful, but it's just absolutely devastating. I think my favorite, though, was one where you use the right joystick to do this person's day job and the left joystick to navigate his imagination.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty neat.
He has this really mundane day job, and you have to keep doing the same repetitive motion. And then his whole story is about how he kind of becomes lost in this fantasy version of himself. And the fantasy version goes from like a very rough outline sketch to really detailed and intricate and beautiful. And you sort of play through his descent into kind of just becoming so in his head that he can't function in the real world.
Oh.
But it's a beautiful game. Would definitely recommend it if you can handle it. But yeah, one of them, because by the time you get to the youngest member, you know what's going to happen. And it's really clear, and it's really impossible.
I'm really glad to hear your take on it, because that's a game that I've looked at several times, and I know that it's supposed to be great, and now I know that I should never play it.
No.
It's good, though.
You really should.
It's good, because if I had bought it and come across that, I would have not been able to handle it
controller across the room.
Yeah, I would have broke my TV with my controller and been like, fuck you.
Yeah.
How
especially
dare you?
because there are multiple instances of young people. Many of whom I think are about the same age as your children, Matt. So
Jesus.
definitely stay away.
Get the fuck out with that shit. Not you. The game.
Yeah, but it's interesting because the whole sort of arc of the story is that this family so believes in superstition and this curse that they're under that it influences their behavior in such a way that kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's good, but oh man, it's a lot.
How long is it?
I played it in a few hours, I would say. It's not long at all. And that's what I did. John, how did you level up?
Me? John? Well, I leveled up by
Growing a
purchasing...
great handlebar mustache.
Thank you. And purchasing a game called Octopath Traveler for the Nintendo Switch.
How do you like it?
Well, at first, I tried the demo, and I think everyone I know started with the same character in the demo, which is the Huntress. Because she does like beast capturing stuff and gets to use monsters, so it sounds pretty cool. But her chunker is the worst chunker in the game, I think. And it gives the game a really bad impression because it's like old English style. Well, it's more early modern English, but like faux Shakespeare style writing. Like lots of these and thous and stuff. And there's like a wall of text for the first 10 minutes. That just sucks. So if you start as one of the fun characters, it's way better. Like the first one I started with after quitting the game and restarting with a different character is the professor. And his first thing is to solve a fun mystery.
Ooh, I like a mystery.
Because he has this ability where almost any NPC you can talk to, he can investigate them using his like Sherlock Holmes abilities and find out about their secret backstory. Mm-hmm. It's really cute. Like you find out the backstory of everyone you talk to, and it gives you like
sounds fun.
Rewards or helps you solve side quests and stuff.
That's cool.
Every character has like different ways of interacting with NPCs. Like some can steal items from them or buy stuff from them or fight them. It's pretty fun. So far the combat's pretty neat. It reminds you a lot of Bravely Default. It's by the same people. The look of the game is interesting. It's a bit like 3D Dot Game Heroes. I don't know if you all have played that. I know Matt has.
Yes. Not a huge fan, but it wasn't the graphics. Love the graphics.
I think 3D Dot Game Heroes is a better looking game than this, but it's still pretty neat looking. And the combat's good. It's hard. Like I died in the first boss encounter a couple of times till I figured out how to do it.
Is there a difficulty setting?
I don't know. Maybe. It's definitely a harder game. And I think because I started with a guy who's not very good at combat, it was harder. So probably if you did start with Huntress and just got past the bad writing, well, not bad, just I think it's like overdone writing.
Vanessa has taught me
too many prithies.
Vanessa has taught me that I can just play games on easy and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
It is fine.
That's how I play Uncharted games because I hate the combat.
Yeah.
And they're still fun.
That's why I won't be on the next Instant Classic.
Also, Matthew was telling me to eat Taco Bell, and I asked him what to order. And I went to Taco Bell, and I forgot my phone, and I don't think they had really the same menu as the U.S., so I kind of guessed what I should order. And I think I failed. I got 2 beef burritos instead of, he said cheesy bean.
Oh, cheesy bean and rice. That's a ticket. God damn it, John.
They don't have those.
How
they don't even
dare-
have. And then I got
Okay, hang on. I'm going to
beef-
interrupt you. Taco Bell, no matter where it is, absolutely has a fucking bean burrito. That's the bread and butter of Taco Bell.
It didn't say anything about cheese. It was just a bean burrito.
Okay.
Maybe it did have cheese in there.
Any bean burrito is going to have cheese in it. Dude.
Okay, sorry.
Jesus.
So I also got
Get
the
out.
Gordito
Cheesy
Gordita.
Gordita Crunch.
It's a feminine noun.
okay.
Gordita.
Gordita Supreme? Was there a crunch in there? I don't know if there was a crunch.
God, you
It was
really
like
fucked this up.
It was a stop sign shaped.
No,
thing.
that's a crunch wrap, man. That's a crunch wrap.
I love that crunch wrap, though.
It was okay. It tasted like a McDonald's McWraps, like snack wrap. A lot of mayo. It tastes like there's a lot of mayonnaise in there.
Mayo?
I don't know. It tasted like there's mayo in there.
That's
I
sour
could be
cream,
wrong.
dude.
Fuck Canada.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I also got the chicken quesadilla because Matt suggested getting these mini quesadillas. They didn't have those for sure.
Oh, those are so good.
The chicken quesadilla was fine.
I do like
okay.
that. It's just that I think it's overpriced, and I think that the mini is better. And you can get anyway. Here's the other thing. And I forgot to tell you two important things. Number one, you better have had something to drink before you eat Taco Bell.
No.
And number two, I don't know what you got, but you got to get that hot or fire sauce.
Oh, I didn't
Everything
get that.
on the menu needs hot or fire sauce. Yeah. And you got to get some sides of sour cream.
Okay. For dipping?
Listen, guys, life hack. Use the Taco Bell app to put whatever you want on those things. you can add whatever you want and they'll do it.
Yeah, no, I love it when I make my food preparer really angry.
How is that making them angry? You're asking them to put stuff on they already have.
I also have a life hack for Taco Bell. If you ask them to give you a PlayStation 4, they'll do that.
We all know about your Taco Bell Golden PlayStation 4, Vanessa.
It came with the Uncharted collection.
Did it?
I also got, I think my favorite thing on the menu that I got was the Nacho Supreme, because those chips were really good.
Wait.
That's also not right.
Nachos, there's a difference between a Nacho Supreme and a Nachos Bel Grande.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good God, you literally ordered nothing I told you to. Nothing I told you to.
I tried my best.
God, you fucked this up.
But the Nacho Supreme were really good.
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
And I got a churro. That was fun. I like churros.
Yeah, churros are good. What was on the Nacho Supreme?
Queso, beef, sour cream, salsa. That's nice. So recommended. And I haven't got sick, which was my problem with Taco Bell last time. So maybe my tum-tum has developed the necessary antibodies.
Antibodies?
I don't know.
You spent like a week prepping yourself, so your stomach probably knew what was about to happen.
I also realized that all my underwear had giant holes in it, and I probably am a grown-up man and should not be wearing those, so I went and replaced all the holy underwear with new underwear.
John, I have the exact same problem, but because I spent all of my spending money at a event on Friday like a fucking drunk idiot, I was like, guess I can't buy underwear.
Oh man,
Matthew depleted his underwear fund.
I can spend $90 on Octopath Traveler and be like, oh, like I thought about it. I was like, okay, I can do this. But spending $40 on 8 pairs of new boxer briefs, I was like, oh, this is a lot of money.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Jesus.
A lot of men underwear have holes in them, but just in the front.
Mine have them at the bottom, so I basically just don't have underwear on. I just have the top part, so
you just have the elastic waistband around your waist.
It looks like I'm wearing underwear to the casual observer, but
he wants those visible panty lines.
So, Jim, have you leveled up yet?
I haven't.
Jim, how did you level up?
I took my daughter to see a kids movie, and it was Hotel Transylvania 3, which is my first exposure to the Hotel Transylvania film franchise. This was one of the worst children's movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It was top to bottom terrible. It was barely even a movie.
I had the exact same reaction to Hotel Transylvania 1, to the point that I wanted to walk out. Like, I was disgusted. I spent an hour and a half so bored that I literally just wanted to die. But Hotel Transylvania 2 is pretty good.
There were just the loosest of threads connecting each scene, and to the point where when the movie ended, I was confused because I felt like there should have been more movie to explain things. Two characters were talking and then the credits came on. It's like they just got tired of making the movie and then they just threw the credits on at the end. I didn't know what was going on.
I'm sure you felt relief.
I did feel relief. They did. At least it was short. It wasn't a long movie, but it was still really bad. Do not recommend Hotel Transylvania 3. It is a shit movie.
Literally glad to hear that, because I did enjoy Hotel Transylvania 2, and thought about taking them to 3, but I'm very glad that I don't have to do that now.
This movie there's a point where two of the characters that you're supposed to get kidnapped and thrown into a closet, and they're gone the rest of the movie, and then they show up at the end of the movie with no explanation of what happened to them, and I was like, what happened?
We are freed now.
Stupid. It was a stupid movie. Okay, anyways, let's talk about Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
Is it time for the Quest
The monologue.
The Quest
Mog
Mog.
log. I like that too. The Mog log. The Quest Frog.
No Quest Frog.
Quest Frog. It's a different frog.
So in your opinion,
and he's pretty okay.
Do you think the Moogles talk with like a cute little squeaky voice, or like the '95 commercial for Final Fantasy VI? Do you think that they have like a deep kind of, sort of burly man voice like this,
Like a
New
Baby
Yorker.
Louie voice.
Wait,
from,
yeah, Baby
what?
Louie.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, Louis who?
Baby Louie from the Roger Rabbit movies.
Oh, I thought you meant Louis Anderson.
No.
He does not have a deep
Oh,
voice.
no.
I was going to say Louis
I think he
CK,
talks
but
more
that's a
like
bad idea.
Yeah, I think they talk like Howie Mandel, but like doing Bobby's World. So they're like,
I always imagine them like Danny DeVito.
I think they sound
Okay,
like a
yeah.
Pikachu.
Like
okay.
Danny DeVito.
Koopa. Koopa.
Koopo.
Koopa. Koopa. Wait, 95
Pope.
commercial? What are you talking about?
It was a 94. Yeah, it was a 94 commercial for Final Fantasy 3. Yeah, it was like a commercial with a Moogle talking, and he sort of sounded like Danny DeVito.
oh no.
Oh, really?
Do like me
Yeah.
a Danny DeVito, and I could see him playing a Moogle.
Yeah, he basically is a Moogle.
No, he's not. He's Frank Reynolds, one of the best characters ever devised.
Just once can we record an episode without talking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Why don't you fucking assholes turn on your Netflix and watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? It's amazing.
It's like Seinfeld, but everybody is even more terrible. It's
Yes.
like a
No,
modern
they're
Seinfeld.
awful.
A modern drunk Seinfeld is what it is,
But
and
it's
it's
not-
hilarious.
But it's not uncomfortable awful like every other FX show.
Okay.
That's true.
I can't.
It's not cringy. It's not cringy.
Yes,
it's just really
exactly.
funny.
I can't stand the cringy ones, except for You're the Worst. I like that one, but I can't do them. Even stuff like is his name Larry David?
Yeah,
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. I cannot fucking take it.
that is made better by the fact that Larry David's in it.
I don't know
If
why.
it was anybody else,
he
it wouldn't.
sucks.
It would be worse.
Well, I don't
Hey,
know.
Jim.
Maybe
Yeah.
he doesn't suck, but
Why don't we jump on a raft
Yes,
and
let's
go down
do that.
a river?
So, where we left off last time, we got to the Returners base. We have spoken to Bannon, and we as Terra have decided that we are going to help the
Okay, I got a problem.
Returners.
I cannot handle calling Bannon, where he needs a nickname.
How about curtains?
How about Bandman?
I'll take Bandman.
What was that comic artist he looks like?
He looks
Again?
like Alan
Oh, he
Moore.
looks
Let's
like
call him
Alan
Alan Moore.
Alan
does
Moore.
Blonde
Yeah,
Alan
okay.
Moore.
What did
Alan
we?
Moore.
What did somebody call him last time?
Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman. I mixed those two up.
Yeah. So you tell Neil Gaiman that you're okay to be
And
his
I'll
last
go ahead and
hope.
explain it to the listeners so they understand. My brother's name is Bannon. And yes, I don't know what to tell you. My parents are fucking weirdos. So I just can't do it. I can't. I edited
I
the last
understand.
That's
episode
okay.
today, and it really just fucking weirded me out the whole time. Also, he's a blonde guy with too much hair and a stupid beard.
And Bannon has just the right amount of hair.
And a perfect beard. Moving on.
Okay, so we have decided to help the returners, and right as we do and we commit, the Empire shows up, and so everybody's like, we need to get out of here. So some of our characters, a handful of them, Terra, Bannon,
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore, and Edgar.
Yes. Edgar.
Or who's the other one? Edgar.
Yep.
Edgar.
Scissorhands.
They jump
Is
on a
Saban on there?
Saban,
Saban is on the raft as
Edgar,
well.
Terra,
Locke.
and Neil Gaiman. They jump on a raft and head down the Leith River
Because Locke is off to South Figaro to do some other stuff.
to beat up honest merchants.
I want to sing the Figaro
Yeah.
thing again,
Steal
but
their
I
clothes.
annoyed myself on the last episode, so I'm not going to do it anymore.
Wow,
Good job.
That's admirable restraint.
So we make our way down this river, and at certain points it lets us choose a direction to go. I don't know about you guys. I guess there's a way to go in a circle. I never managed to do that.
Yeah, I have done that. I missed out on doing it this time.
Yeah, I've done it sort of accidentally and got irritated with myself.
Yeah.
But you wind your way through this river, you go through a cave or two, and eventually you get accosted by a sea monster, a sassy sea monster named
Okay,
ULTROS.
quick question. Vanessa,
ULTROS!
is this your favorite Final Fantasy character?
Yes.
Why?
I
Why?
have been saying it for a long time that ULTROS is my favorite Final Fantasy character because he's amazing. He emerges from the water and he's like, oh, what have we got here? Don't mess with an octopus. And then proceeds to just slap them with his tentacles.
Well, he starts being gross about Terra and then
He
being like,
is lecherous. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, I see you have a lady with you. And
He only comes out of the water enough to display his shit-eating grin, too.
yes, he has a shit-eating grin. And then the best part is that if you cast fire on him, he responds with exclaiming, "Youch, seafood soup!" and then declares that seafood soup is not on the menu and slaps him with his tentacles.
But does he declare a thumb war?
He does not have any thumbs. He is an octopus. He only has tentacles, but he has 8 of them.
Can he go over the top?
Octopus are notoriously good at escaping from any kind of situation, many times by climbing over the top of their tank.
Oh.
and squeezing into very small spaces.
They can squeeze into the smallest spaces, and they have approximately the intelligence of a house cat.
Oh, I did not know that. So they have stupid little walnut brains like house
Yeah,
cats
so
do.
they're idiot assholes.
No, but they can like open jars and stuff, and
They can open
Whoa,
jars, and they
weird.
will.
and they can hide in a room and wait for someone to leave before escaping. Like that stuff's on video. There's a lot of weird things about cephalopod intelligence that's super cool.
Some of them have camouflage abilities, so they can disguise themselves as the ocean floor or such.
But that's not ULTROS. ULTROS is like purple.
Yeah,
He's purple.
and he calls Saban a big dumb muscle man,
Yep.
and he talks about what an ugly brute poor Neil Gaiman is.
You know what's funny about that is after we defeat him, what he says about Saban is proven correct because Saban leaps into the water to deal the finishing blow to ULTROS
Yeah.
and gets washed away.
Yeah, ULTROS is retreating, and Saban's like, "Not on my watch."
And then everyone's like, "Oh, he'll just jump right back into the raft."
Then he does.
And they wait a couple of beats, and he does get ejected out of the water elsewhere.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
This is one of the best scenes in any Final Fantasy game, I think.
Yeah,
This whole
it's pretty
fight is
great.
fantastic. It's he's kind of difficult because I actually lost this fight on this playthrough
Oh,
because
no.
I had I didn't have the rows set up. You know, you can like put weak people in the back and you got to put Bannon in the back, except that it gets reversed for these raft fights. So you have to put Bannon in the front.
Oh. Yeah, the fight is over if Bannon dies.
That's correct.
Because I guess he's immune to Phoenix Down, so you have to take really good care of him.
He also has a sweet ability that lets him heal everyone in the party, which is the best.
Is it pray?
Yeah, you've got to pray just to make it today.
And I pray. Oh my God, do I pray?
So, Sabin gets washed away, and everybody else. I don't remember where this scene stops. Where does this end?
This ends with Sabin being ejected and you getting taken down the river, and it fades to black.
That is correct.
Yes.
And then we're presented with a Moogle friend.
Who does a bow in greeting.
And tells us to pick a thread to follow. There are 3 of them. There's a party we just left, and then there's Locke, and then there is Sabin. So I think we should talk about Locke first. You guys want to talk about Locke first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. That's a fun little quest.
So let's venture over to Locke. Locke is now in South Figaro, that town that we talked about last episode that has the mansion with the weird jail underneath. And the guy who likes cider. And the Empire is here now, and he has to find a way through this town and out of it.
Now, I couldn't remember if you have to do the cider business on the first time you go to South Figaro, but it's this time.
It's this time, yeah.
So, how do you do it?
It took me a minute to figure this out because I felt like I was stuck because I couldn't go anywhere. And then I ran out of places to go, and so I went to the item store, and I talked to that merchant that's just standing in the corner, and what do you know? You fight him, and...
Well, he does call you a thief.
Oh, no, yeah, he calls you a thief, and you say, no, I'm a treasure hunter, call me the right thing, or I'll rip your lungs out. And then you fight him.
He doesn't say that in the Game Boy version. He's just like... I'll show you. He just says, he doesn't say anything about ripping lungs out.
Oh, I'm playing on the Vita, and he threatens to rip his lungs out of his body.
He's
Yikes.
serious.
And so you fight him, and you prove him correct by stealing his clothing.
Yes, you steal the clothes off his back.
And you get a nice little shot of him in his underwear, clutching his nethers, and the enemy is now called the birthday suit.
That is pretty
he
funny.
blushes furiously.
And so we're now dressed like the merchant, which lets us venture a little further into town.
Because there's a little boy there, and he won't get out of your way unless you are a merchant.
That's in the cider guy. Did you guys? You can walk clear, like you can go a little further into town and fight a soldier and steal the soldier's outfit, and go to like the weapon shop again and the pub and all that stuff. Or if you want to, you can just get the merchant outfit, go right to the cider guys. Oh no, you have to go a little further in to get the cider, right?
Yes.
And that's that's at the bottom of the mansion.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
It's at the bottom of the pub.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that's
cider's
right.
in the pub where Shadow used to be.
Wow, I forgot all of this happened. So we have to go. So we go to the pub and get the cider. We also have to go into the mansion, into the basement, and this is where we come upon the Imperials torturing one of their generals.
Yeah, I think we have to take the cider to the old man.
Yeah, first you take the cider to the old man.
Oh, that's
He's
right.
Like, there's a password. There's a password here, but I don't remember it. And so you try to tell the kid the password, and if you guess wrong, if you say Rosebud, for instance, he will kick your ass and then take your clothes. And so you're back to your standard clothes. So
right.
And then you have to go fight the merchant again and steal his clothes again.
that is one tough kid. That kid
Yeah, he is.
seems to have some martial arts training. Oh, you can also talk to Duncan's wife, but you don't mention that her husband's dead.
Yeah.
She's still... Yeah,
And her
I guess you'll
son
never
at
know.
this point.
Yeah, yikes. So yeah, you gloss over the fact that her husband's murdered, but I guess that's okay. And you give the cider to the old man, because that's what he really likes. He likes his cider.
Do we think it's hard cider?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
This man's getting drunk on our
He's a
dime.
stinking drunk.
What a
And
fucking asshole.
the password is courage. Like Keith Courage in Alpha Zones.
That's a shitty password.
It is a shitty password.
First of all, you need at least one capital letter.
A special character, some numbers.
Yeah, and if you're smart, you need at least a special character. Don't use the exclamation point. Everybody uses the fucking exclamation point or a hashtag. Everybody uses a hashtag.
It's true. You know what?
But-
Passwords are a mistake.
Yeah, the
You know
old man
what?
doesn't give us like a list of potential passwords, so it could have been any word.
Yeah.
And Locke gets it on like either his first or at worst third try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Can you get away with that? Did anybody try to just skip the cider part?
I did not.
You can't, because you can't get to the mansion without doing it.
Because
Because it's blocked by Imperials.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. You can talk to some Magitech armor pilots that are like, yeah, Kefka sucks.
Everybody hates Kefka.
Sometimes when you talk to guards, they fight you though.
Oh, I didn't. That
But
didn't
it's
happen to me.
just. It was always just one guard.
you can steal
so-
their uniforms too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that part. Yes.
Well, you have to, don't you? Don't you
Yeah,
have
to get
have
past
one?
the guard checkpoint,
Oh,
you have
that's
to
right.
steal the uniform and
Yeah.
pretend to be like the sergeant or whatever.
So you get inside the mansion, and we get to the sexy sex dungeon in the basement.
And so Celeste, I wasn't totally clear. She was a general for the Empire, right?
Yes.
And for some reason that they don't explain, she is now a traitor.
In the translation we have, the iOS and GBA translation, she's a traitor because she objected to Kefka wanting to use poison.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
It's really fucked up.
That is pretty
yeah,
fucked up.
she is against chemical warfare.
And that's why she was arrested.
Yeah.
And they're torturing the hell out of her.
Wait. So what is it in the non-GBA iOS version?
They just don't say.
Yeah, they just don't say.
Oh,
They
really?
just call her a traitor.
Yeah.
So
Kefka sucks.
yeah, he's the worst. But
Celeste is 19 years old, and she's a general
What?
in the army.
very accomplished.
She's 19? Mm-hmm. Bullshit, she's 19.
I think she's 19.
I think she's in her 40s, which is fine. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, in my head, she's clearly like an older woman.
Let's
I
see
was
what
looking
the
at
internet
her
says.
sprite. Her model is exactly like Beatrix's from Final Fantasy IX.
She is.
She's wearing like a battle bathing suit and a cape and a head thingy. She doesn't have an eye patch though. So, that's the extra 5 years or whatever. I think Beatrix is like 25. You gotta earn that eye patch.
Celeste Share. Age. Oh, you guys, I was wrong. She's 18.
Oh my
Wow.
god. These fucking ages in these games are always so stupid.
Yup. Well,
Like,
she's
it
very
made
talented.
sense for Titus.
Did you find that extra secret side room right where you're getting Celeste, where you can get like hyper wrist, which gives everyone like a boost, like to make
It's a
them
boost
super
to
fast?
strength.
Is that? Or no, there's one that gives you
No.
haste, and I think there's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
I never
very
used
useful.
those because I've never noticed a difference in using them.
Oh, I use them all the time. They
Really?
really help. Yeah.
Haste can be like a game breaker if you use it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So it gets auto haste, and I gave her earrings to buff up her magic because you find an earring in the basement here. Yeah. So Locke is like, he can't not rescue a girl that's in peril. So the guard falls asleep because, of course, he does. And Locke goes in there and unties her, and she's like, "Oh, just leave me here. It's crueler for you to try to rescue me." And he's like, I can't not rescue you. I
Why
have
is
to
it
protect."
crueler to rescue her?
Because she thinks she'll just get hunted down and killed.
She's ready to give up on life.
Yeah. And Locke's like, "Nuh-uh, you're getting out of here. Let's walk past this sleeping guard." And then the guard wakes up and stands up and then just mumbles about soup.
That part was pretty
Sits down
funny.
again.
This game has a weird sense of humor, and I can't really nail it down.
I forgot that it has like that 16-bit comedy scene music in a couple of locations.
That's how you know something funny is happening.
It's like a laugh track.
Yeah, the do 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 wah wah.
Oh, yeah.
So you get Yeah, you get Celeste. And she joins your party, and she's got a sword that absorbs magic
That's neat.
and gives her HPs or MPs.
I don't use that, and I don't really understand it. Like it seems kind of like a shitty ability.
It's not great.
I mean, it's useful for the boss fight in this scenario.
Yep, I think that's about the one time you really need to use it.
It's
I guess if
certainly
you're
not
coming
Street
against
Fighter.
Yeah. No. Street Fighter?
Sabin.
Oh, yeah, he's way better.
Sabin, literally still at this point at the game where I'm playing, at the end of the game, Sabin is still the best character.
Really?
Is he one-hit killing everything?
Yes.
Because right now, Aura's shot is killing everything.
He group kills everything, which
boy.
is exactly what you need.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, Jim.
Anyway.
Yes. So we rescue her.
How did you level up?
We rescue Celeste, and we make our way out, and we need to go back to the cave that we came through before. This time we're going through it the other way, which is very boring. And it's backtracking, which is a no-no in video games.
It's great in a Zelda game.
But we backtrack through this cave, and as we're going, we hear like this weird, like rumbling sound. And a couple times Locke is like, I wonder what that sound is. And then we get to the end, and what looks like a half drill, half a motorcycle crashes through the wall, and we have to fight it.
Mm-hmm. Is it the guy from, is it Rocky or whatever from Chrono Trigger?
Who's Rocky?
What was his name? The bird motorcycle?
Johnny B. Good?
Oh, Johnny B.
Oh, yeah.
Is it that drilling machine from the Mars colony in Total Recall?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it,
Does it have 3 boobs?
is it a drill?
It's a drill. It's actually called the Tunnel Armor, which is a name that doesn't make any sense.
Ooh, it's like the cleaners from Labyrinth.
Ooh. Nice pull.
I thought Total Recall was a pretty good pull, too.
So,
Vanessa?
this fight is basically
Vanessa.
all about...
Vanessa.
You remind me of the babe.
What, babe?
The babe with the power.
What power?
The power of voodoo.
Who do?
You do.
Do what?
Remind me of the babe.
I saw my baby crying hard as babe could cry. What could I do?
What could I do?
My baby's
this
love
thing
has
only
gone
attacks
and
with
left
magic
my
powers.
baby
And fortunately, you have
Nobody
Celeste,
knew
who can absorb
what
magic
kind
powers
of
with her
Kind
sword.
of
magic
magic spell to use.
slime or
Rhyme or
snails,
snails
or
or
puppy
puppy
dog.
dog
We can't afford any
tails.
more of that song.
So, yeah, it can't do any damage because as long as you have Celeste soaking up that yummy, yummy magic, yum, 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 it can't hurt you.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
she's like-
Name is yum yum. Give me some.
I gave Locke... I also gave Locke... I don't know why I did this. I gave him the Genji glove, so...
Oh, yeah.
He does a ton of damage whenever he attacks, so...
My go-to with Locke was to use, and I can't remember the names of them, I'm sorry. There are 2 items. One ups your steal rate, and one changes the steal to mug.
Oh,
and I
wow.
feel like most of these games, the mug command produces such lower damage than a regular attack that it makes it useless.
Yeah.
But in this game, it does not.
Yay.
And it really made a lot of shit easier. Like, I stole everything, and I had like 60 high potions at one point. Like, nothing.
That's pretty good. I gotta get that.
Well, we beat the tunnel armor, we absorb all the magic ease, and we fight it, and it breaks down, and then that's the end of this scenario.
Scenario 2. Terra.
Yeah, scenario 2 Terra. This one's boring.
More like Terra Bull.
Yeah, speaking of backtracking.
Yeah, so this one you have to go. So you try to get into the town Narshe, and you can't. So
Narshe.
Narshe.
No, we're calling it Narshe.
Narshe.
Narshe. We try to go into Narshe, and
Narshe.
and we get
Narshe.
Narshe.
It's Narshe.
Narshe.
You know what, guys? It doesn't matter. We
You don't matter.
We try to get into the town. They kick us out. So we go back to the cave that we were explicitly told to remember last time that Locke helped us escape out of, the one with the secret entrance. And then we just backtrack through there. There is a little mini game here.
There is?
Isn't there like in the maze part here?
Yeah.
Where you have to follow the maze pattern?
Yes.
It's the
I
same.
fucked this up way more times than anybody should. Like, it's not hard, and I just kept fucking up.
I just did the first try.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow! It's
know.
not a
Good
mini
boy.
game for you then.
You know what I blame it on? Absolute shit iOS controls.
Yeah, because if you take even one step in the wrong direction.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's
Did
no
you just say
good.
delect?
I was going to say direction, but I got confused.
Vanessa, I think you're grilled cheese drunk.
I have been sitting here drinking a Bold Rock Blackberry. It's a seasonal drink, so you got to drink it while you can.
Sounds good.
Gotta gobble it
Everybody's
up.
drinking except for John. John, go get some Maker's Mark.
Ooh, I love Maker's Mark.
I
I
got
don't know
some
if
of
they
that.
have that here.
I know you want some of that because you sang a song about it on the last episode.
So that's really it to this scenario. We have to get through the cave and we go back to that guy's house. I don't remember. Alvis? Is that his name? Ooh,
Yes.
that's
Arvis.
Here it is.
Arvis, yeah. Ooh, Maker's Mark
cast
is so
strength.
good.
We definitely
got
did
it.
not
Nova.
learn his name last time, but we do.
Shots,
he does introduce himself this time.
Shot.
I just think of Arvid from Head of the Class, and you're like 4/5 of the way there.
The hell is head of the class?
You're far too young, I guess, for that show. Although I was like
Good God.
12 when it got canceled, so you would have been
That
like
might be
9.
that might be a Canadian thing.
No, that was an American show.
The only exclusively Canadian show is The Odyssey, starring Ryan
That's not
Reynolds.
What about
What about Degrassi? Wasn't that a
Yeah.
Canadian
Rossi?
show?
That's what I was
Yeah.
reaching for. Mm-hmm. What about Orphan Black?
Ooh, that's a Canadian show.
You guys have heard of those shows, so obviously they're not Canadian exclusives.
What about You Can't Do That on Television?
We've
Was
heard
that
of
a
that too.
Canadian show?
Yes.
What about SCTV?
What about
The Bears. Did I
Ed
get
the
that right?
Sock? How about This Hour Has 22 Minutes, a garbage show for jerks?
Garbage show for jerks.
What about The Odyssey, starring Ryan Reynolds?
Or what about Codco, another garbage show for jerks?
What about Alanis Morissette? I don't know what that's got to do with shows, but it's important to me.
What
She was in You Can't
what
Do
about
That on
Drake?
Television for one season.
Was she?
Yeah.
Guys, I adored Jagged Little Pill. Like, as like a 12-year-old, it was my favorite album.
about
that's
Great
'cause
album.
that's a
Too
really
hot,
good album.
Always too cold. Take your best shot. Too hot to hold.
Yeah,
was her,
right?
like,
My father
mall rock
judged
song.
me for liking that album.
I do love that several episodes of How I Met Your Mother chart Alanis's rise and fall, which is just fantastic.
Let's go to the mall.
Wait, did she
Exactly.
fell? Did she fall?
No, she didn't real. She just goes dark at
Oh.
the end, just like Alanis does with Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Swallow it
so,
down. What a jacket
Tara's
without
quest
pill.
is to walk through like 5 rooms.
Yep, that's it. It's just to go through the caves that she escaped through earlier. And make it back to the guy's house that she woke up in at the beginning of the game.
An old man.
And that's it. So let's move on to the real meat of this, which is Saban's Odyssey, which should be its own game.
Suitcase.
Well, Locke was kind of, it was a good chunk, and Terra's was nice and short, so Saban's should be too, right?
Locke's was like
Oh,
an
yeah.
area and a half. This one is like 3. This one is what I imagine to be most of the game.
It is not. This is a very long game.
This goes on forever. So we meet Locke after he's been washed. He washes up near this guy's cabin, this weirdo's cabin. And this guy in there is really weird. He keeps trying to get you to do stuff for him, and then eventually he just threatens to kick you out, so you leave.
So this is the first instance, I think, of the comedy music,
Yeah.
the one that I was talking about. This is the least comedic character in the game, and yet his house is full of comedy music. 'Cause
He's
like,
just a grumpy old man.
is he though?
Is he?
Doesn't he have a dark secret? Doesn't he threaten to kick you out like he did to that monster?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He's got
Does
some
have a
issue. Like
dark
he
How is that
secret.
funny, though?
It's not.
Oh.
Like
No.
that's what I'm saying. Is this area has this zany comedy music, and he is like doing a bit where he keeps thinking you're a stove repairman,
Yeah.
and a lawnmower repairman,
The
and
door repairman.
but it turns out he's gone nuts, and you find out in the next or a little while from now why.
But we'll talk about that next time on Square Roots.
We'll
Where are
talk
we
about
playing
that
to next time, guys?
In this episode later. So yes, just
next
keep this.
episode, we're playing to the end of the Sabin scenario, which is should be an episode on
It's
its
about
own.
80 hours long.
This is going to be a 2-hour episode.
Oh, it's fine.
So Sabin, he's at this little old man's house. The old man is like, "Fix my clock," and Sabin's like, "I can't fix anything. You're thinking of my
Did you
brother."
say bitch my clock?
He's like, "Bitch, my clock." And Sabin explains that it is his brother who is the Tony Stark-esque mechanical genius billionaire playboy. Sabin just hit things good like the Hulk.
I like how Edgar is a mechanical genius because he uses a chainsaw.
And an auto
And
crossbow.
later on,
He runs
drill.
a castle that can go underground.
That's pretty cool. You gotta admit.
Yeah, I've never seen Tony Stark's house go underground.
I mean, it's cool, but also I'm not sure how practical it is.
it's very practical.
I'm willing to bet if you went back and actually read through the entire run of Iron Man, at some point he had a house that goes underground.
I mean, if you think about it, they put that house underground and then nobody has any oxygen and they all probably die.
Yeah, it's true.
It's Tony Stark. It's got some sort of reoxygenator, obviously.
That's not even a word.
He can wear his suit into space.
He's a spaceman.
He's like a Green Lantern.
Tony Stark is notoriously the Green Lantern of the Marvel Universe.
And an Aquaman because he can go underwater. Mm-hmm. So basically he's better than any DC
Yeah,
character.
he's a Batman because he can go on a roof. and
And in a cave.
yeah, and he's a Clark Kent because he can go to Kansas.
I forgot to mention last episode about how everyone was confusing Sabin for a bear, and that's why he's got like a bear following in the bear community. Except he's not really that bearish. He's just muscular.
I don't know, man.
He's not hairy. He doesn't have a beard.
Can I aside real quick? I have seen several screenshots that John has posted of the original version or the GBA version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I got to admit, it looks so much better.
It does,
It looks
yeah.
so much better. I get it now. I get it.
Guys,
shit.
most of the male characters in this game are fucking jacked.
Yes.
Like
Sabin
their
is jacked.
little sprites are fucking ripped, man. Even Shadows, you can see Shadows' muscles rippling through his ninja costume.
Yeah.
It's true.
In that version, they straight up are like 90% giant arm.
They are his like Shadow's legs, his quads are massive.
Yeah. Shadow has chest for days. He has one of those pec shelves you could put a beer can on.
Yeah.
I got one of those. I mean, it's my fat belly, but close enough.
Well, it's supposed to be up like around your collarbone.
Yeah, mine's like that. Just like
Just lower.
half a foot lower.
Lower.
I got one of those too.
Those are
Oh.
called boobs.
Oh,
Those are called Humpty and Dumpty. Oh,
Yeah, that
we'll
was
talk about that in a bit.
Yikes.
do the Humpty
Yikes, John.
dance. They do the Humpty dance. It's a good thing I have turned off my camera at this point. I'm just going to put that out there.
John, can you not name people's boobs on this show?
I'll try not to.
I include myself in that.
Okay. Tell Mrs. Cunningham and Dieter I'm sorry.
Dieter. I love that.
Mine are thing 1 and thing 2. Thank you very much.
All right. So, we leave this house right at the beginning of the scenario, and we walk down. Oh, right outside this house, there is, speaking of muscular ninja man,
Ooh.
there's a muscular ninja man.
Nice.
Yeah. His name is Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's a fucking dork. He's got a dog, and the dog is named Interceptor, and that's the worst fucking name I've ever heard for a dog.
And his dog, when it comes on the screen to help him fight, is like 1 pixel by 1 pixel.
Does it bark?
It just goes pew across the street.
I feel like you hear it go roof, roof, though. Because it's like,
so
roof,
silly.
roof, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn.
It is a bloodhound. No, it looks like
No,
a German.
it's a
It's like a
Doberman.
Doberman.
Oh, Doberman? Okay.
Oh, I had a Doberman growing up. Her name was Allie. She was a sweet dog.
Aw.
She was a fawn Doberman, so she had light coat and like a light tan instead of black.
Oh, yeah. My roommate's old dog was like
And
that.
my shitty stepfather wanted her ears cut, and they could never get one of them right, so she had 1 pointy ear and 1 floppy ear.
Aw.
I mean, it was still
Cut her
pointy.
ear.
Yeah.
I agree. It was still
Baby.
pointy, but like it was pointy but floppy, like it could not stand up. It was so cute though.
Aw.
But I
She
agree.
sounds like a lovely pupper.
I agree that that's a terrible, shitty thing to do.
Yeah. Don't declaw cats and don't cut the dog's ears.
Or their little tails.
Yeah. All right. So Ninja Man's like, I'll help you get to. Where's he wanting to go anyway? South Figaro or something?
Hang on. Can I tell a short story?
Yeah.
John is making faces. Like, this one's going long, dude. Just fucking accept it. Can I tell a fun little story? So, I'm not going to sit here and be like, "My childhood." I had a really dickhead stepfather. And his fucking favorite thing to do, and I swear to God, like, we did it at my birthday parties. We did it all the time. It was a game called Chase the Kid. I lived across the street from a football field, like a middle school football field, and we would go across the street, and the game was, you run, I'll hang onto the dog for a minute, and then I'll have her chase you down.
Jeez. Well, was she gentle though?
I mean, she'd nip the shit out of your heels, but otherwise, she wouldn't, like, hurt you.
Okay.
I thought the story was going to where your stepfather would chase you around. Like, it's like, all right,
It would be
kids,
like all his friends.
you get a
just be
30-second
like,
head start.
Hey, everybody, let's play Chase the Kid. Run, kid.
That would be okay.
Most dangerous game.
I would be okay with that. I mean, I'm not okay with that. It was fun. I was a stupid kid.
Surviving the Game, starring Matthew Van Zandt with his stepfather as Rutger Hauer.
I think it sounds more fucked up than it is.
It's the only way to toughen him up. Now Matt's the toughest man I know.
It's true.
Really?
I am a girly
I
man.
cry so
Which is fine.
often. I cry like
Hey, it
commercials.
takes a real man to be okay with his tears.
I've been
Commercials.
guys. I spent a lot of the weekend watching Friday Night Lights, the series it was on in like the mid to late 2000s, and I probably cried at least 5 times. The show tugs on my heartstrings.
Can we talk about the first time I watched the Scrubs finale and was sobbing?
Ooh, that one killed me. That one
During
killed
the
me.
like slideshow bit.
Yes.
Yeah,
During
when
the
Colin Hay
slideshow.
comes on and sings. Yeah. Ooh, that one. That's a rough one.
Yeah.
Well, John looks like he's about to flip his desk over, so we should probably keep talking about Final
I
Fantasy
don't know why.
VI, I
John,
guess.
what do you say? What, you got a hot date after this?
No. I'm just hot and grouchy when it's warm.
So Saban's in this little couch. I'm sorry, he's in a hut with a old man. He will not fix his anything.
He's in
he touches
Jabba
the
the
oven
Hutt?
and he gets youtched.
That sounds
We
bad.
meet up with Sexy Ninja,
Oh, right.
His quads
And-
are so big.
and he is going to escort us to, I don't know, wherever we're going, Narshe
Doma.
or South Figaro.
We're going to Doma first.
Okay, sure. Except you never really go to Doma. But
You do not go
get,
to Doma.
you get to a bridge that is going to take you there, and it's like they set up a little Empire base.
Yeah, a little Imperial camp is
And you get some
here.
Metal Gear on. You gotta stealth your way through this.
Yeah, you hide and you listen to some soldiers talk shit on Kefka. And they're they feel kind of weird because Kefka wants to poison the river.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out that Doma is being laid siege to. Cut to Doma.
You would need a lot of poison to poison a river.
I mean, it takes Kefka like 3 seconds to do it.
Snake, you gotta get to the other side of this camp. Oh, so wait, that was Otacon. Otacon, I gotta get to the other side of this camp.
So we cut to Doma,
Who's his
and I
girlfriend
love
in that he always is talking to?
Meryl?
Snake!
No.
Snake!
Naomi? Is it Naomi?
Naomi, yeah.
Campbell? No. Wait, isn't she related to Campbell? Oh, let's not talk. Let's not get into Metal Gear.
What's
You're
the guy's
thinking of
name?
Nev Campbell, the actress who was in Scream.
She's the
I was
hottest.
thinking of Naomi Campbell, the model. But moving on.
Also hot. Wait, what is the guy's name in that? Is it Octopus? Is it
Otacon.
Otacon.
Is it Octopath Traveler?
There's also Decoy. There is Decoy Octopus, but he's the one who was replacing the DARPA chief until Fox died.
Guys, we are in the longest part of this episode, and we haven't even started it.
Ocelot. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of Revolver Ocelot.
Ah, of course. Octopath Traveler. Now, yeah, you have to sneak through the space. There's a chest that you can like hit or kick to open it, but that alerts a dog.
Wait, we're not there yet. We need to talk about Doma first.
You got to introduce to Cyan.
Yeah, we need to talk about Doma, because this is my favorite part of this whole episode, when it shows the Empire laying siege to Doma, and it's just their sprites throwing themselves up against the wall of the castle.
Yeah.
It's like a feudal Japan kingdom with a European style castle. And he's like the king's what would you call that? Protector guy?
Bodyguard.
He calls himself. There's a word for it, and I forget the word he uses. Do you remember, Vanessa?
They do use a specific word. The king's right-hand man.
No. Let's just call him Protector. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he's the one who like takes care of the king and makes sure the king doesn't die. Spoiler alert, he does a terrible job. But basically, Doma is super happy because they're like, oh, they're just walking into our walls. We have nothing to worry about. So we'll just wait for them to tire themselves out like toddlers, and then we'll murder them all. That's their plan.
He says thou and art and thy and things like that.
I imagine him speaking like Brian Blessed, like always yelling.
Brian Blessed!
Thou art mine enemy! Yeah, so Brian Blessed here, he's got a sweet-ass ponytail and mustache.
He does have a mustache.
His mustache is pretty neat.
He's a cool-looking character, and I like his ability, even though it's not super useful if you have active time battle on.
Yes, he has an ability to charge up an attack for various effects, depending on how long you charge it up.
Mm-hmm. But if you have active time battle going on, you're losing way too many turns waiting for it.
Mm-hmm. And
Unless you put, like,
payoff
super
isn't
haste.
that great.
Yeah. I'd say you can charge up to level 4, because that's the one that attacks all enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about as high as you really want to go.
Yeah, but Sabin over here can attack all enemies with just a few pushes of the button every turn.
Not yet, at least in I haven't got any attack all skills yet.
Me neither.
But so, yeah, that's this guy. He's protecting the king. You go back to the army base, and General Leo's there, and he's like, well, don't do anything rash. Let's try and figure out a good way to get this castle's defenses down without causing too many casualties on their side or ours. Mm-hmm. General Leo seems like a chill dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
and
okay.
Kefka, in response to this, is just like, what the fuck are you
I
even
think
talking about?
Kefka arranges. Suddenly, General Leo gets a message that he has to go back to the Empire.
Oh, yeah,
and
the
leave
Emperor
battle.
recalls him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's a trick that Kefka does to take control of this scenario. That's my guess. Because, yeah, General
know.
Leo has to suddenly leave, And then the second he does leave, Kefka issues some new orders to murder everybody with poison.
I don't know that it is a trick because the Emperor seems to be totally in on Kefka's plan.
Oh, okay.
Like to me, I could be wrong, I'm interpreting, but I feel like the Emperor is playing both sides of Kefka, you can't do this, but also like implicitly being like, Kefka, kill everybody.
Yeah, be like, don't poison everyone. Wing.
Yeah.
We overhear that, so it cuts back to the Imperial camp, and for some reason my character switched from Sabin to Shadow. I don't know if it did the same for you guys, which was weird. Yeah. But Shadow overhears Kefka saying, okay, I'm going to go poison the river now. And he jumps out and was like, no, you're not. That sucks, dude. I'm going to fight you. And so you fight him, and you get a hit on Kefka, and then he runs away. And then you have to follow him, and then you fight him again, you get a hit on him, and then he runs away.
Yeah, he's not a fighter.
No.
Which I'm okay with. I don't mind having a villain that's not trying to, that isn't, super buff and covered in armor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you do fight, the little mini sprite of Kefka. You're not fighting some cool looking...
That's right.
Gorgeous sprite of Kefka.
Yeah, but you do fight that occasionally.
Yeah, I think, that's what I'm getting at is whenever it's the cool looking gorgeous sprite, it's a lot harder.
Yeah, it's real dumb.
So Kefka, I think doesn't he just do it himself? He's like, women are doing it for themselves, and your sisters are doing it for themselves, and grabs the poison and just dumps it in the water.
In the water. He puts the poison in the water.
And the water changes colors.
Turn purple.
Everybody starts dying.
That is some powerful poison, or perhaps some weak water that
everybody
dilutes very easily.
In Doma dies immediately, which was in. I don't think it was intended to be this way. It's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
The camera pans to every NPC that's on the outside of the castle, and they all just keel over.
Mm-hmm.
Cyan realizes that the water was poison, and so he goes to check on the king. The king rattles off some stuff that... what does he say? He says,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
he's like, you're a good Cyan. Don't blame yourself.
Yeah, and then he dies. And then Cyan goes to check on his wife and daughter. And...
Son.
Wife and son, excuse me. And they are also dead.
They're super dead.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is he the retainer? Is that what they call him?
Yeah, I think it is retainer.
What does that mean?
Ah!
It's like what you put in to make sure your teeth grow in the right way.
Yeah.
Retainer in the streets, returner in the sheets. Right?
Ooh, yeah.
I lost my retainer so many fucking times. Do you know how many times I threw it away in the lunchroom because I took it out and put it on my tray?
Those things are expensive.
I know.
Yeah, don't do that.
No wonder your stepdad chased you with a dog.
Oh, my father paid for that.
When he's not holding the king's teeth, he defends him.
When he's not holding the king's teeth?
Yeah.
That was a really good movie, though, about the last king of Scotland, the king's teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're thinking of the king's speech.
Starring Forrest Whitaker.
That's the last king of Scotland.
Yeah.
Oh.
The king's speech is something else entirely.
The king's speech is Colin Firth.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Colin Firth is not in this game.
Wait, is it? So what's the movie I'm thinking of?
Nice segue, John. Nice way to bring it back around.
Yep. And, so everyone's dead. His family is dead. He decides to
get some revenge.
Mess shit up.
Yeah. So he
kicks down
goes,
the door.
He goes to the camp. And his pixel starts bouncing off of other pixels. And so we have to go help him fight Imperials.
I stood between him and the other pixels, and you get knocked out of the way. And,
oh, really?
And, yeah, they're like, I guess I shouldn't have stood there. So yeah, you talk to him and you're like, hey, we're on your side. Need some help? Like a comic book. And he's like, yeah, sure. And then you fight some guys. And then and for whatever reason, you leave the base the way you came, which makes zero sense. Mm-hmm. And, you get out of there, and now you can go to Doma if you like, but there's nothing you can do there.
Yeah. They steal some mechs, right?
They
get
do.
out of
They
the
steal
base.
some
They
Magitechs.
jump into some of them and are like, goodbye.
Oh, yeah, that part's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that you could keep them for a while. But they're like, oh, we don't need these anymore. Yes, you
they
do.
Just jump out of them, yeah.
No, you have healing magic. These mechs can heal you. Keep them.
I like watching technophobic Cyan try to drive his Magitech at the beginning because he just spins it around in a circle because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's pretty fun.
Yes, he does hate technology. It's a pretty great trait.
Yes. So he says, well, you can get to, somehow you can get to Figaro through here or something.
Yeah, you got to cut through the forest.
He tells
But
you
it's
to walk,
like
you have to go through a
cursed
forest
or
first.
some shit.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to warn you about the forest, but Sam's like, no time. No time to hear those last 3 words. Let's just go.
It's a haunted
Call him
forest.
John Brandon.
Call him whatever you'd like, Matthew.
Is Shadow still with us?
This forest part is like, take this out of the game and the game is no different, which means it doesn't need to be in there at all.
That's like, it should be a side mission, maybe.
Yeah, it is. It's stupid.
That was a good question, Vanessa. Is Shadow still with us?
He is. My Shadow is.
This is why Shadow sucks.
Mine left pretty soon.
Yeah,
Really?
As soon as I got in the forest, he's like, all right, I'm done with you guys.
Oh,
Later."
really? Mine stayed
Yeah.
all the way till the falls.
Oh. This is
Lucky.
Yeah.
I wonder if it depends on how much you've leveled your character. Whether he
Yeah,
stays
I think
or
it's how
not.
many fights you've been in.
Interesting.
And I got lost a bunch because the map is really zoomed in, and so I went the wrong way like 5 times.
And you can't rotate it. That sucks.
Yeah.
I do think that the music in this section is some of the best in the game, and all of the music is good, but I love this scoring here.
You know, I don't usually notice the music in these games, but I have to admit, it is really fucking nice. This game has got some killer music.
Yeah. So this is a spooky forest, full of ghosts and such, and you get through there, and then you get to a train station?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, let's look on the train for survivors. And, Mr. Science like, oh, maybe don't. Wait, this train is, and of course we don't let him finish, get on the train. He's like, this train is a ghost train going to the afterlife. And, it's not a real train. And suddenly you're stuck on it and it starts moving.
Is this train going to heaven or hell?
I think it's going to like the, what do you call that?
Purgatory.
It's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
the sorting facility.
Yeah, exactly.
What a romantic afterlife.
It's going to the abyss. That's the space between hell and earth.
Oh, okay.
It's going to the Banff dimension, where Nightcrawler goes to when he teleports.
It's going
It's
to that
going to the good
dimension where the
place.
ship went to in Event Horizon.
Oh, where you don't
Yeah.
need eyes?
Where you don't need eyes.
don't go
Seen
there.
that movie?
You've never seen Event Horizon?
No.
That movie was one of the first ones to give me a nightmare.
I have to watch it
This train
someday.
is chock full of ghosts.
It's so full, but there's a friendly ghost.
There's more than one.
There is. He sells you stuff.
There's several friendly ghosts. Casper is all over this train.
So the one ghost is like, I'll help you, especially since that loser Shadow left. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
come join me.
Shadow's a
What?
piece of shit.
One enters your party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen to me.
Yeah, I had 2 ghosts in my party at one point.
Did you
If
really?
you go to the back of the train, you can recruit more ghosts.
I ran into several ghosts that you could get, but I could only get one.
Jim doesn't talk to NPCs. We learned that from Grandia.
That's true. I don't talk to many of them.
Jim played Grandia right.
So these ghosts they can kill enemies with 1 hit with their possess ability. And but they're pretty weak, but I just use them as damage sponges. And there's one enemy that uses a drain attack on them that heals your ghost buddy and then will kill the enemy that was trying to drain them. And that's
pretty
pretty
great.
awesome.
If you use possess, the ghost leaves your party, right?
Yeah. You have to go back and get more
Oh,
ghosts.
interesting.
Really?
It kills an enemy in 1 hit, but you lose the ghost.
But the enemies here are really easy, so you probably shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, I'm like one with the Fang ability from Cyan and Sabin's aura shot. I was 1 hit killing all the enemies, so it wasn't too bad.
There's also a nice cafeteria where you can get a good meal.
Oh,
yeah, that
yeah,
part's
the
really
ghost serves
fun.
you, and Cyan is like, "Don't eat the ghost food, man," and Sabin gobbles it all up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saber's
he's
like,
like,
fuck you, I'm hungry. But
Yeah.
there's no ill effects, so Sabin was right.
Nope.
And
No, man, you get healed. It's weird because in my translation of the game, it said like your HP, MP, and status ailments like poison have been healed, and it's so weird that they called out like poison.
Like specify it.
Yeah,
I guess that, this was before people really knew RPGs. They had to spell things out. In mine, it just
Yeah.
says your HP, MP, and status effects have been removed, or your HP and MP are recovered, status effects were removed.
hang on. Jim, are you playing the Final Fantasy III version of this game?
I'm playing
Kind of.
I'm playing the version that's on the PlayStation Store on my Vita.
Oh, okay.
It's got a couple of changes from the Super Nintendo version, but it basically is it's the same translation as the Super Nintendo version.
There's also a very special encounter.
I love this encounter.
Me too.
It's
I'm so
amazing.
happy.
I hope does this guy come back?
Can't say.
Oh, what's this guy's name?
Siegfried.
Siegfried,
Siegfried,
who
the
we
world's
met in
greatest
Final
swordsman.
Fantasy 12.
I love that. So you find like this train car that's got different compartments in it. The first compartment that you go into has a chest, and when you go to open it, a swordsman, self-described world greatest swordsman, drops in from the ceiling and says that's his chest, and he fights you. And I love, like, I was all primed to get destroyed by this guy, and his first attack did 6 HP away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fight him once and he disintegrates. Or you attack him
Yes.
once and he disintegrates.
But then he takes the item and runs away anyways.
He does.
What a jerk.
Yeah. He's just like, farewell, all swords belong to me.
Was this guy in Final Fantasy 12?
He was in Final Fantasy 12. He was the guy, the optional boss on the bridge who appears with his dog, and he's like, I am the greatest
with
swordsman.
Zanmato?
Yeah, and he has like fake copies of all of
Wasn't
the
that
swords.
Yojimbo?
No, Yojimbo is the summon that you pay for.
Oh, okay.
Now this guy
Right.
comes and he has like a fake Buster sword and a fake.
Right, yeah. That guy was
that's
rad.
right.
Yeah,
I
that's
love that
the same
cutscene.
guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's great.
And he does come back. This will be a bit of a spoiler, so I don't know if I should say it.
Oh, it's okay. We'll get it there when we get there.
Okay.
But there's a chest with a much harder enemy than the rest of the enemies in the area. Like, it's harder than the boss.
Ooh, the
Kill
monster in a
me.
box?
Yeah, the monster in the
There's
box is
2 of those.
real tricky.
There's one in the Imperial camp, too.
Yeah, that one's a satellite that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I feel like they're always hard.
Yeah, this one was like, when it didn't one-shot die, I was like, uh-oh. And it killed my ghost, and I was really sad.
I guess it's to teach you not to be so greedy and just open every chest you find.
I'm going to open every chest I find, Vanessa. I don't care if there's monsters in the box. I just should have saved. This guy was kind of a jerk, but I won. It was just a close call. So you get to the end of the train. Oh no, first you start getting surrounded by ghosts, and you have to use Sabin's mega powers and jump from train to train. And then you have to disconnect the cars to
that's right.
stop these ghosts from pursuing you.
And they keep chanting, no escape,
No
no
escape.
escape.
Which was like, it seemed like they were spelling it. Because the way that the game spelled it, they would spell it N.O.E.S.C. And I was like, are they saying the letters or are they pronouncing it? Like, I didn't understand what was happening.
Give me an
In my
N.
version, it was like ... no escape ... no return ... It wasn't like every letter.
Oh, mine had like punctuation between every letter.
Oh, yeah. Ellipses.
No, it was a period.
Oh.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That time
So
of
you
the
get
month,
to
huh?
the front of the train,
I get it.
Nice.
and you have to search around the engineer's compartment to figure out the puzzle. And the puzzle is find the answer to the puzzle.
Yeah. And it tells you, flip this particular switch and then go
Yes.
flip another switch
It's like
outside.
press the first switch and the third switch and then go flip the outside switch.
Yeah, the one on the smokestack.
Yeah.
And so you do that, and it should stop the train, But does it, Jim?
No, the train becomes sentient.
Uh-oh.
I feel like it was always sentient.
You hilariously run in front of the train while it chases you, and it turns into one of the most ridiculous boss fights I've ever seen in my life.
So it's the slowest train ever?
This train killed me the first time because the train cast this spell that did random status effects on all of my characters, and so Sabin turned into a frog. Shadow was like blind, and then Cyan was like enraged or whatever, so I couldn't control him.
Did we talk about Cyan's ability? What's it called?
Swordcraft?
Yes.
In mine, it's called Samurai.
Ooh. I don't get that. Mine wasn't.
Weird.
It's like vaguely okay here, and then it sucks for the rest of the game.
Yeah, we were saying with active battle on, it's not worth it. Like for me, I'll get it to level 4 sometimes because that one attacks all targets. But mostly I just do like Samurai 1, and because that'll do more damage than just a regular attack, you can do it right away.
Yeah, I don't. I actually turned off active battle immediately. Like I just don't like it. Also, I'm rarely paying close attention to the game.
Yeah, I think if you're working or not work, okay, I won't say you're playing at work. If you're busy and like concentrating on other stuff, like taking care of your kids or whatever, yeah, you should put it on time or wait. Wait mode is easier to handle.
I just don't like active time battle. I think it sucks.
That's fine.
I mean, Chrono Trigger had it too, and I just didn't fucking like it.
Train go on train track?
Mm-hmm.
Why no just run to the side?
That's a great question.
And then the train will get away. And we have to stop the train.
Why
For some reason.
They're off the train now. Their whole goal was to get off the train.
You can pick up the train and then body slam it into the ground.
You can pick up the train and body slam it.
I didn't do
this. Which
is
amazing.
And I'm very disappointed that I didn't do this.
You know what? I didn't do it because I'm a grown-up, and I enjoy more mature things than suplexing a train.
I only suplex the train. And it's fantastic.
I had a move that's called Aura Blast, I think, that did a lot of damage to the train.
Yeah.
So I used that
Aura
on
Blast
it a lot.
is actually a better attack to use on the train, but suplexing a train's really fun. Mm-hmm. So do that.
All right, Jim, what happens next?
So we defeat the train, we get to the train station, and this is where, so we're about to leave, and the camera pans over, and you see a bunch of recently deceased people boarding the train.
Oh, no.
Who are on their way to Purgatory, and then Cyan sees his wife and son on there, and before he can get them off the train, takes off.
Yeah. And he sort of does the running along the platform thing, waving his handkerchief, being like, goodbye, don't forget to write.
If the game had earned this moment, it would have been sad. Now it was just, how do I get through these dialogue boxes? The game hasn't quite, you know what? Like, if I was like maybe 9 playing this game, I would be like, oh, that's pretty sad. But the game didn't really earn it.
You weren't like it's sad?
No, what's sad about it?
His dead-ass family.
Yeah, I had never talked to his wife or his son before this.
Jim was a bad dad, and he doesn't care.
They've always been dead.
They've always been dead to you.
Yeah.
It's a good point. He did kill them.
I never got introduced to them while they were alive.
They're just generic wife and son.
Yeah, just backstory fodder.
Mm-hmm.
Having a wife-son's real weird. Don't do that.
So we're free of the train. We get out. We go to the Veldt. It's a big savannah type place.
We go to Barren Falls first.
Yeah. And this is where you're supposed to take off all of Shadow's gear so you can have it for yourself.
I did this. I unequipped Shadow, and he just takes off right here.
He'd already left with all my good gear.
Oh, really?
Sucks.
I hate that guy. That guy sucks.
This whole I'm leaving all the time thing is horseshit.
Yeah.
So he left for me here, but I did unequip him after I fought the train. And so he leaves, and then Sabin and Cyan jump into the falls, and hilariously fight like bone piranhas on the way down. That's so silly.
No, that's fun.
I like this
oh,
part.
shit. I died on this. I did. I died here.
What?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't remember how it happened,
Wow.
but I was mad about it.
I was watching TV and mindlessly pressing the X button while fighting these piranhas because I was like one-hitting them.
I had auto battle on, and I just didn't notice when it became a problem.
Oops. Uh-oh.
There is like a little piranha mini boss that I guess has an ability that can kill you. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I killed him so fast.
I know, me too. But yeah, so we barrel down the falls and we end up at the Veldt, which is kind of this big. Is it like a marsh? Is that what's going on?
I don't think so. I think
No,
it's
like
plains.
a savannah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
a big plains area, and it's full of every enemy that we fought up to this point.
Very diverse.
Yes, there's a lot of different enemies here, and we run into. Well, I guess when we wake up after the falls, we meet this little feral child
Yeah.
who's investigating us, and his name is, I'm going to pronounce it Gao.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
I accidentally hit him so many times.
You don't. I mean, it's not accidentally. Like that's the only way to get him off the screen if you don't have any dried meat.
Yeah. It took me,
That's
I
right.
had to hit him 3 times, and I felt really bad.
Yeah, but
I
he's
did not,
like.
because he sucks.
They said he's covered in monster pelts, but he does have like a warm glow to his eyes.
What?
And so he runs off when you wake up. He shows up during the random encounters and says he's hungry. If you don't have anything to feed him, you have to hit him to make him go away.
You can't run away, which is bonkers.
Yeah, it's weird. But your objective here is to get to the next town to the east, which is Moblitz.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you get there. You can buy the dried meat that you need at Moblitz. And so you go do that, run into Gao again, give him the dried meat. He'll join your party. He has like a blue magic ability.
Yes, it's a lot like Quina.
Yes.
Quina Quen.
So basically you can prompt his ability and you lose control of him for the rest of the battle, but he can like gain resistance to and do stuff with like enemy abilities.
Yeah, there's a couple you really want to get is Templar, which uses Fyra. It's really, really powerful, and I think also casts like Safe on him. And you want to do Stray Cat because that will do has an attack that does ×4 damage, which is a lot.
Oh, wow.
And the Stray Cat is useful for the rest of the game.
Can you get that in the Veldt?
Yes.
You can get that in the first trip to the Veldt.
Oh,
so
interesting.
definitely get those two.
I use him as little as possible. I think he sucks. Even with Stray Cat, I just can't stand him.
Yeah, I got Stray Cat, and he still sucked.
There's some interesting characters in Mobliz. There's some teenagers that are making out in a corner. There's like a guy running a pigeon service
Mike
to
Tyson?
communicate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Because
it's
they're
like
isolated.
Moblitz. Yeah, they can only communicate with the outside world with carrier pigeons.
And there is a wounded guy who keeps getting letters from Lola in, what's it, Miranda? Is that the town she's in?
I think so.
And yeah, you can talk to him and read that letter. And it's very sad because he's a wounded soldier who deserted the Imperial Army, but they like tried to kill him because he didn't want to poison Doma.
Can you claim the letters are from you?
No, that is not this game.
This game's inferior to Fable.
I think Lola's already met her boyfriend.
Probably because it's not powered by the Xbox.
Exactly. It needs that level of sophistication.
Whoa, imagine if it was.
Yeah.
That train would have come right off the screen.
So I spent like half an hour just getting some extra powers for Gao here.
Gao has a treasure.
He has a treasure.
Gao has a mullet.
He does have a mullet.
Yeah.
He has hair like a 80s rock man.
The longest
He's like a
mullet,
glam
though.
rocker.
Like, I think his mullet goes to his feet.
Ugh.
So, here's the thing about Gao. Gao lives alone on the plain as some sort of wild man. How does he have a mullet? Does it just
He
naturally
chews his hair
grow
off.
as a mullet? Oh,
He probably
chews it
cut
off.
his own hair with a rock, but he can't reach the back,
With a
so he
rock?
can only do the sides
cut
and
it
the
with a
top.
rock.
Can't
Yeah, like a
reach
sharp
the
rock.
back.
So there's some people in the town tell you about Gao. They mentioned that there's an old man who his wife died
Lives by the
during
sea.
birth, and he went crazy and then saw his son as a monster and threw him away out into the veldt. So the zany old man we talked to is Gao's father.
Oh, weird. I never put that together.
Yeah.
You can go back and talk to him later, and it like becomes explicit that he's his father.
Yeah. But I don't think he's gone too bonkers. We'll talk about that when we get there.
You're right. I'm sorry. Jumping too far ahead.
It's okay. But yeah, that's the sad Gao backstory.
Did we mention that he has dumb green hair?
So we get we go to the mountains where the shiny is buried, and you have
That's
to
right. He has a treasure. It's a shiny.
The treasure, first he robs 500 gil off of Sabin, which isn't, I have like 30,000 gil, dude. Just don't sweat it. It's fine. And, finally you find the space where the helmet is buried. It's not marked or anything. You just have to walk around a lot. And, you get that. And it's a diving helmet, which I guess works for all three of them.
Yeah.
Somehow.
It's a very large diving helmet.
That's good. Or maybe there were three and they just didn't mention that there were three.
They were like
So they're,
directly behind each other, so. Or they share it. They probably like hold their breath and then move the helmet over and inhale and then move the helmet over.
And what I would say is maybe one of the least logical parts of the game, they say, hey, if we dive here, the currents will bring us to Narshe. So we could put on these helmets and then survive underwater for like 3 days. I don't know. How far is it? Hours? Days?
Potentially.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. So you go on an undersea adventure all the way to Narshe. And when you get there, everyone is reunited.
Yay!
Bannon is there. You find out Arvis is there. And they're having a discussion about the trying to convince the town to join the returners, and they don't want to. But when they hear from what's his face, Cyan, that his whole town got poisoned, it starts changing some minds.
Yeah, they're like, well, we don't want our whole town to get poisoned.
But even then, the elders are like, that's not enough. But oh yeah, also everyone gets to meet everyone else. There's a whole introduction scene. Everyone says hi. And then they decide to fight because they have no choice as the Imperial Army is coming and they have to go protect the Esper. And I think that's where we're going to end this chunkerino.
Oh, finally. Oh, Lord.
That was a long one.
There was so much shit to cover, and that's why it was so long.
There's two reasons why. That is one of
Vanessa was really just yep tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention, on the way, you get washed up in this town, and in this town is a lady who is a dancer, like Nomi Malone from the movie Showgirls.
Yes.
And she introduces you to her twins, Humpty and Dumpty.
Oh, no.
And
Cyan
Cyan
loses his mind.
He turns into a man on the internet.
Yeah. He's like, do you have any shame? What do you do? But he's also obviously like really into her because Sabin is just laughing and he turns to Sabin and he's like, are thou immune to her charms?
And he's like, well, there's some benefits to an ascetic lifestyle. And, he rants at her. It's a great screenshot that I think can be used for many internet occasions.
Because his dialogue just devolves into rant.
Yeah. It's fantastic. So I think that dancer should be in quotation marks because it's fairly clear that in the Japanese version, she is a prostitute.
Yes.
For sailors. Because this is a sailor town.
Sailors love prostitutes. I mean, it's just a fact of life.
So does this count as a brothel in our great RPG list of games that have brothels, or is it just a single prostitute?
I think
Vanessa?
she's just self-employed.
Okay. So it does not enter the list of games with brothels.
Not yet. We'll see what happens
next
time on Square Roots. I think next time we're playing to the arrival in the Empire.
Ooh. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that so when you get to the Imperial capital or something?
Yeah. No, when you get to like the continent.
Oh, okay. Cool. John's Bullshit Minigame Corner is a game that's very hard on iOS. Walking around a path where a light told you walk.
Yeah, you have to memorize where the light went and then follow the light.
How'd y'all do on that?
Not great.
Shut up.
I had to redo it a couple times.
What about you, Jimmy? Yeah, I think with a controller it's easy, but maybe not with iOS controls. And that's it for Bullshit Minigame Corner. Other than like picking what path to go on the raft and underwater, which was not a fun minigame. It reminds me of Shenmue a bit. That's it. How about we move on to Squarely Against, Jim?
Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say I'm roundly for Saban's scenario. It was really long, but there's a lot happened, and it all felt very plot relevant, which I can get behind. And I say plot relevant with the exception of the ghost train, which was not plot relevant. But everything
fun,
else,
though. I mean, the train itself isn't fun, but like
Yeah.
the ending is pretty fucking good.
yeah, everything else was really fun, and I liked it. What about you, John?
Matt,
Let's do Matt.
Okay, what about you, Matt?
I'm squarely against Gao. He annoys the shit out of me. I don't want to deal with him. Like, just everything about it is garbage. What about you, John?
I'm roundly for Gao, learning new skills with Gao. I find it really fun. I think it's my favorite way of doing it. It's a little annoying because you have to it's kind of, if you don't, okay, so the way it works is you tell him to leap on one fight and then he'll come back between 1 and 5 fights later. So you get the skills of the first fight when you tell him to leap and then the last fight when he comes back. And since I was aiming for some very specific monsters, it can get a little frustrating because you want to get those specific monsters. But it's still, I don't know, I just think it's really cool. I like the attacks and stuff. It's maybe my favorite instance of blue magic in Final Fantasy.
I find it irritating that you don't really gain experience on the Velt, so you can't be leveling up your other characters while Gao is off doing his thing.
No, you do get money, at least. So I did have tons of money at the end. Vanessa,
Yeah.
What about you? What are you squarely against?
I'm roundly for the music of the Haunted Forest. I said it before, and I just said it again just now. If you happen to play the game on mute on your phone or something, go back and give it a listen. It is beautiful.
These girls in front of me in the window are playing badminton, and their dog is in a little dog carrier watching them, and it's really cute. Sorry. All right. So I think we're gonna wrap up this long
Thank
app.
God.
Yeah, guys, I think that's it for this week's episode. Like we said, next week we will be playing through our arrival to the Imperial City.
Continent.
Imperial Continent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, our arrival to the Imperial Continent. But before we go, let's go ahead and remind everyone that they can reach out to us. We can be reached by email. It is squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. They can also talk to us on our Facebook group. It is the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or they can tweet at us. We are at Square Roots Pod. Our intro music for this series is the One Ups. That's One Up all smushed together, ONEUP, and it is their cover of Terra's theme. Check out the One Ups Bandcamp at theoneups.bandcamp.com. on iTunes as The One-Ups, and their merch store at store.mustinenterprises.com.
Our outro music is by Lord Biff Music. Check out Lord Biff's Patreon and YouTube as Lord Biff Music. Links to both artists in the show notes. Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you screenshot your review and post on the Facebook group or Twitter, I'll tell you how you leveled up.
Hang on. Why is our theme song the terrorist theme?
I said Terra's theme, not the terrorist theme.
I disagree with this.
All right, for this episode's patron shout-out, we have Sam Harrison, Devin Sloan, Danny Lucas, Cody Schwerin, James Plett, Greg Bailey, Race Jenkins, Joseph A. Rogers, Rob Schubert, Stu Skeel, Xavier Krieger, David Shook, Matthew Jorgensen, Kiva Mosser, Samu Mitchell, Andrew Wayant, Brian Stone, Aaron Bachman, Robert Pollum, Stan, Tracy Tanoff, Josh Anderson, Robert T., Ross Hartley, Tyler Petty, Brody Toy, Justin Ham, Bree Girth, Meredith Anderson, Brian Pitt, Ward Childress, Patrick Coover, Patrick W. Bears, Wonder Swan, Miguel Torres, Rusty Kamada, Tom, Lynn Setchell, Justin Benoit, Vanessa's mom, Cameron Show, Jonathan Ellsworth, and Cyril the Wolf. And if you'd like your name read out, that is one of the built-in bonuses of becoming a Patreon at squarerootspodcast.patreon.com. Or, I'm sorry, patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. I read the wrong URL. I just made it up, and it was wrong.
Yeah.
But we have...
Dear patrons, we love you.
Yeah.
You can watch me
You're amazing.
eating Taco Bell if you'd like.
John does a review of Canadian Taco Bell on our Patreon.
He falsely claims that it's, quote, Matthew's suggestions, and he ordered nothing.
I'm sorry.
Nothing I suggested.
We also have our bi-weekly Level Up podcast and our revival of Instant Classic and Square Roots Versus, where we let our patrons pick out a game for us to play, and then we talk about it. We do a whole episode on it.
By the name of the moon, we need to play that game.
Yes.
This is a Versus month, but next month is a Instant Classic month. What are we playing?
Uncharted Ladies.
Ladies version.
Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Thank you for saying the name, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss that episode, guys, because I'm busy.
Because you hate Uncharted, but this one is so much shorter than the other games, and you could put it on
I do hate
easy.
Uncharted. I'm not spending $30 on a game that I don't think I'm gonna.
Do you want me to
like.
send it to you after I finish?
No, we're already late in the month.
Okay. Okay.
He won't do it.
I genuinely just.
Matt only do what Matt likes to do.
I mean, that's okay.
That's fine.
All
I
right,
gotta play
everybody.
Sailor Moon. I'm gonna try that tonight.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Well, once again, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for Square Roots. I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm John Brandon.
Huggy Snuggy John Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Vanessa.
Bye.
So Doma is like, it's got some sort of like retro
Hang on.
feudal Japanese kind of
Sidebar.
music going on.
Bannon just texted me and said, I just watched John's video. God damn, I want Taco Bell. Jim's gone,
should
so
have
we
made
got
a grilled
nothing to
cheese
talk
sandwich.
about now. Like, just what's going on with you
No,
guys?
let's just keep going. So Cyan is this guy. He's like a warrior. They're all like, this is like feudally Japan kind of kingdom, except that it looks like a European castle.
John, you've
So
got
it's
a
like a
little
mix-
Halo man on your bookshelf, and I've been staring at it the whole time.
Oh, okay. It's a Spartan.
Oh, now you're gonna bring him out and show him to me. Oh. Hi, Spartan. That's not a Spartan, that's Master Chief.
We're still not talking about the fucking episode. I got up to get a drink and came back, and we still aren't talking about the episode.
Oh, why is it so fun for
John
me
had
to
an action
fucking...
figure in his hand. What the fuck?
Why is it so fun for me to divert this episode? I'm having such a good time.
Okay, kid, show me what you got. Yeah, right. Next. Yes. Next. Ooh, scary. Next. Next. Next.
Final Fantasy III. Do you have what it takes? Final Fantasy III from Squaresoft.
Next.